What's up, DC Nation? We're doing a Batman The Outsiders review, and guys, today we're checking out issue number 15. The cover looks really dope. You see Black Lightning. He's really getting his full potential, right? And there's actually an awesome splash page in this issue. It's an awesome page drawn by Dexter Soy, and the whole issue is drawn very well, and it's written so well by Brian Hill. I'll just put that right out there. But guys, diving into this issue, we continue this final storyline. It's called The Demon's Fire, and this is The Demon's Fire Part 3. Now, this issue opens up, we see Ra's al Ghul, alright? Ra's al Ghul's been so awesome in this series, guys. I've been loving him, but in this issue, we get a lot more of him, and Brian Hill writes him, like, perfectly. Like, I think that if any person, like any other writer, wants to write Ra's al Ghul, or like maybe like a movie producer or a TV show producer wants to actually put Ra's al Ghul on like the big screen or a small screen, then they should check out this run by Brian Hill, Batman The Outsiders, to see how Ra's al Ghul's voice is. Because his voice is like shown perfectly in this issue. Like, he sounds like Ra's al Ghul, he acts like Ra's al Ghul, like he is actually in character. And some of you guys may think, yeah, that's not really a big deal, like that's how it should be. But a lot of writers really dismiss that. A lot of writers sometimes will just change the character to fit the storyline. But here, Ra's al Ghul is acting like Ra's al Ghul, and I really appreciate that from Brian Hill. But as this issue opens up, Ra's al Ghul says civilization is a vulgar thing. He's like, today is the day that I like take down all like the pretty much higher up people. This other guy, one of Ra's al Ghul's henchmen, come by and it's like, oh master, I have word. And Ra's al Ghul's like, what is it? And the guy says, the Batman has defiled the Lazarus Pit. And that's when Ra's al Ghul says, wow, a clumsy move by Batman. Desperation has come to the detective. He's like, well, it doesn't matter, let it be. And the henchman's like, wait, what about immortality? And Ra's al Ghul's like, immortality doesn't matter. The goal is transformation. And he's like, today, civilization will fall. And you see they're in Tokyo, Japan, guys. They're in Tokyo, Japan, and Dexter Story draws the splash page so good. It looks beautiful, guys. You see Ra's al Ghul with the other henchmen, they're looking out. Now we shift to more parts of Tokyo where you see this guy named NATO, he's just running. He's running, this person is chasing him, and he turns around and shooting at them, and this person says, NATO, you can't just shoot the shadows. And that's when Duke, the Signal, comes out of the shadows, and he's like, hey, stop. And that's when NATO's like, oh, screw you. He's pretty much just starts shooting, and then he throws like a grenade and hits Duke and actually distracts him for a short while. Now that's when Cassandra Cain comes out and she says to Nero, hey, Signal told you to stop. She hits him, kicks him in the face, and you see NATO is like, what are you here for? And she's like, I want your arms. She's like, well, I'll show you what these arms do. And they're actually like robotic arms. And he goes to punch Cassandra Cain, but she dodges it, and NATO's like, crap. And that's when Lady Shiva kicks him in the back, he hits to the ground, right? And she's like, mind your language, weapons dealer. And that's when we see a big, like not a splash page, but it's like half a page, but it's a really cool image of Batman, Black Lightning, Lady Shiva, Katana, Duke, and Cassandra Cain all surrounding this guy named NATO. And like, you want to keep your arms, then tell us what we need to know. That's what Batman says. And when we shift to is Batman's holding NATO at the top of like this roof and holding him over pretty much, the area over Tokyo. He could drop him and Nail would just die. And Batman's like, tell us what Ra's is doing. And Nail's like, I just gave him, I gave him mercenaries, I gave him pretty much weapons. And Batman's like, tell us where he is and we can go find him and beat him. And Nail's like, he's crazy. And Batman's like, so am I. And he breaks his ankle. I'm like, holy crap. This is such a cool moment. Like, you've seen that Batman, he's not getting desperate, but he's taking it to the next level. And that's when Nail's like, he's going after the Master Group. Ra's al Ghul's going after the Master Group. And Batman's like, oh, the Master Group. All makes sense now. When we shift to is then we see Duke and Katana, they're in like this room. You see Black Lightning just meditating. Duke's like, what is he doing? And Katana's like, well, Ra's al Ghul's weapon has an electromagnetic force, and Rajin, which that's actually like what Katana calls Black Lightning, he is actually trying to search for it. So he's searching into himself, searching through his lightning, his powers, to search for this weapon that Raj has. Now, Duke's like, wait, is he able to find it? Katana's like, he may. But then that's when Katana asks him, hey, is Lady Shiva teaching you well? And Duke's like, yes, I know she's supposed to be evil, but no, she's been good to us. And I know Cass and her have history, but she's not being bad. She's actually teaching us. And Katana's like, oh, she actually is. And that's what Batman, all the rest of the Outsiders show up, and they're asking, wait, who is the Master Group? Duke's like, yeah, who's the Master Group? And Batman's like, they're pretty much a secret group of corporate leaders. And they actually called on Bruce Wayne once to join them. But Bruce Wayne, because he's Batman, said no. Because a very, like the corporate leaders, they have a lot of money, they do some bad things, alright, and they get away with it. And Batman's saying, well, they're actually in Tokyo tonight, and Ra's al Ghul is going after them because Ra's al Ghul doesn't like what they do. And he's guessing that Ra's al Ghul will be using violence. And that's when Katana says, so should we protect them? And Batman's like, no. And Batman's like, our only objective, like our only goal is to destroy the weapon. And that's when he asks Black Lightning, he's like, wait, how's it going? Have you searched it yet? And Black Lightning's like, I'm trying, but each time I try to search for that weapon, I feel like I'm dying inside. And Batman's like, okay, let me rephrase this. How long is it going to take you to search for that weapon? Black Lightning's like, alright, I get it. We're all crazy now. I'll go as fast as I can. Bruce is like, you better, because the world depends on it. Now we shift to Tokyo. Well, we're actually still in Tokyo. But in Tokyo, we see with the Master Group, right? And all these different corporate leaders are like, hey, we should have actually got Luthor come by. You know, Lex Luthor. I'm like, no, Lex Luthor doesn't play nice with people. And these corporate leaders are just talking about their plan. How they can hide all their shipments, how they can hide their whole, like, their secrets and stuff. They're talking about Superman, all these different heroes, right? But that's when one of the ladies in the corporate group, this Master Group, is like, wait, do you guys hear that? And this whole, like, it's kind of like a ship comes by, and you see all these different corporate leaders just get shot in the head. Like, 1, 2, 3, out. And this girl's like, what the heck? And she looks up, and she's the only one left. All these corporate leaders die. And she looks up, she's like, who are you? And Ra's al Ghul is like, don't you already know? I'm your new master. And he's like, hey, so you, and her name's Jennifer, he's like, Jennifer, you know how to broadcast? Broadcast a signal around the world, and I'll speak to them. And what Ra's al Ghul does is he sends like a message to Gotham City, to Tokyo, Japan, to London, England, to like different places around the world. Oh, Moscow, Russia, alright? And all these different people see it. He's like, today's a great day. It's the end of war. It's the end of civilization. It's the end of crime. It's the end of everything. He's like, I will show you how civilization can fall, starting with Tokyo, Japan. Set your sights on the fall of Japan. And what it's showing is, okay, if you're in England or you're in Russia, it's like, okay, it's like a warning, right? But if you're in Tokyo, you're like, oh crap, I'm about to die. Like, that's not good at all. Now, what we see next is Ra's is with his henchmen, and they have this weapon, and he's like, the time is now, we have won. It's time for us to shine bright. And they all go in like a circle, and you have like the weapon, and they start activating, right? And the henchmen ask Ra's, why you hesitate? And Ra's like, I'm not hesitating, but we are not alone. And what we see, guys, is this awesome splash page. Guys, I freaking looked at this splash page for at least a couple minutes, alright? Dexter Story drew this so well. We see Black Lightning outside the building that Ra's and his henchmen are in, about to activate this weapon. You see Black Lightning just a big circle of lightning just watching. And that's how he searched for this weapon. It looks so cool, alright? Like, it's probably the best moment in the issue. Watching, no, the next moment is the best. This is the second best moment in the issue because it's just so cool, right? They could have easily just put in one simple panel, but they made it awesome. That's when we see the outsiders a couple buildings away, and Katana's like, Rajan or Black Lightning can't hold this forever. And that's when Lady Shu's like, you like him, don't you? And Katana's like, I don't like you. And she's like, outsiders, follow me. You too, assassin. And that's when Lady Shu's like, rude. She was actually trying to talk to her. And that's when we see, so Ra's al Ghul, he's in like this building, and he's like, they're coming. And the henchman's like, who is that? Who is it that disturbs us? And that's when Ra's al Ghul is like the detective, the fool. And you see a Batman come through the building, and he's just standing there. Ra's al Ghul is like, wow, detective, it has come to this. And I got so excited, and that's where the issue ends. It's a terrific cliffhanger. You see, really, like, Batman, he's standing, he's ready to go. We're gonna see Batman versus Ra's al Ghul. Next issue, you got Black Lightning outside the building in a whole, like, circle of lightning. You got the rest of the outsiders going on their own plan, and it's just so much stuff happening, but so much stuff coming full circle in the series. It's so cool. And guys, Ra's al Ghul is just awesome in this issue. See him, like, broadcast stuff, see him actually go after the Master Group, see him, like, say, hey, immortality doesn't matter. It's actually the transformation and the downfall of society. I'm like, man, he actually has a cool, like, plan and a good motive, too. Like, yeah, I don't agree with this motive to, like, pretty much make Japan fall and stuff, but it just really makes it interesting. It makes the story interesting. I feel like Ra's, Batman, Black Lightning, they all have interesting parts in this issue, and they have great lines written by Brian Hill. But yeah, overall, guys, this issue, the artwork was amazing, the writing was amazing. It feels like we have now hit, like, the climax, where we are really at the end of this big storyline. Now, the problem, though, is we only got 2 issues left, and this whole series is over. And I am so disappointed, right? Because this series has been so awesome. Probably one of the best series that DC has been releasing recently. Actually, ever since, I would say the first couple issues were just okay, but as it got better, it started becoming one of the best series. But as always, when we got, like, one of the best series that's coming out, they have to cancel it, right? But still, I really like this series, and I'm still looking forward to the next 2 issues. And I hope eventually Brian Hill jumps on another Batman the Outsider's book, or maybe makes, like, a Black Lightning book, or maybe a Cassandra Cain book. Because you can't just cancel this book and just be like, alright, Brian Hill, go work on something else, and we just abandon these characters. Like, yeah, Batman, he's in other comics, so you don't have to worry about him. Ra's al Ghul, he always shows up. But these other characters like Black Lightning, Duke, Cassandra Cain, Lady Shiva, they're getting great spotlight here, and for them to just be like abandoned after the series will be really disappointing if that happens. But yes, overall, an awesome issue. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Definitely recommend it. You guys should be checking out the series, even though it's ending. If you haven't even started the series yet, then binge it. Like, just read all the issues up to this point. There's 15 issues, and you'll enjoy it, guys. Because I really feel like this issue is the one that really brings it full circle and sets up the finale, like the next 2 issues perfectly. But guys, in the comment section below, tell me about this issue. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you think about Ra's al Ghul? Does Brian Hill write and right? Do you think it's one of the best versions of Ra's al Ghul in a while, like a long time? And what do you think will happen next? Give me all your theories on how this series will end. And you guys like the video, give a big thumbs up on YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to my next Batman the Outsiders review. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.